Alright, today we're working on a 2015 Honda CRV and we are replacing a valve cover gasket, which if there's enough light, it's the gasket under that right there once we take it all apart. Alright, got the cover here. Pop off. Wiggle out. And then once you got all the bolts out right there, just pop it off. All your loose bolts stay in there. Alright, got the cover off. Now we're going to have to take off the spark plugs and then go from there. Let's get these unclipped. Gotta get this pin right there. That pulls back. That pulls to the side. Now you get the hose off right there. Take off this hose right here. This clamp. Alright. Gotta break loose the valve cover screws, which don't seem that tight, which is kind of scary. The valve cover stuff, the plastic cover's wrong tighter than this. That's kind of weird. Yeah, you got your bolts in the back. They're a little tight to get to, but you can get to them with extensions. Crack it loose. Find your next one. Crack it loose. And then pull them out. Don't get tricked. There's a hidden tin, which is this right here basically, and it's gonna need a deep socket tin to get out. Get tricked by that, it won't be good. You break something. Yeah, that guy right there. A hidden tin that also helps with the align the cover. Don't forget you got a plug right here. You got some plugs back here, which you can either take the screws off, cut the zip ties, or try to pull them through with pinching the back side. And you got one up here also. You either cut the zip tie or pull them through. Use a flathead screwdriver. And you got two on the back side. And you got a hose back here on the back side, which I can't see. There's a hose, and you got to pop that off the valve cover, which I don't think y'all can see. I'll show y'all in a minute. All right, that made it a lot easier. Went ahead and just undid that, and that, and moved it all over. That way this can now slide out. Yes, much better. Sometimes take a little more off to make your life a little bit easier. Alright, we got all that pulled. We got all the edges cleaned out. Got the silicone cleaned out. Put the new gasket on there. Just make sure and RTV. Put your RTV in all the sharp corners and in the back, and slap it back on. Make sure you put your RTV in your creases. Slide this thing back on there. Very carefully. There she goes. Make sure all your hoses and everything's out of the way. All your stuff back there. Don't forget your special one on the side over here. You can get all your 10 mils in and bolt them down hand tight. Then double check your torque specs. That or give them good and tight. Alright, now you tighten all your gaskets down. I'd probably go in a crisscross pattern. And yeah, get your torque wrench out if you want to. In inch pounds, it's 62.5 inch pounds, roughly 62, 63. Then you just start putting everything back together. Get all that in there. Bring that back around here. Put all your spark plug things back in. If you got dielectric grease, you can put on there. I don't have any. So this should do. And then I'm going to go down here and reinstall the alternator bolt and everything and plug it in and go from what I did last in basically reverse order. Alright, let's plug back in all the spark plugs right there. Now we got this hose right here. Put that hose back in. I'll have to get the clamp it back on. I gotta get this screw right back there. Oh yeah, there's a hose on the back side over here. You gotta make sure and slide back on. There it is. I don't know if y'all can see that hose right there. Yeah, you can get that hose on right there. Squeeze your arm in there. I can get the little pliers. And back on there, good. Yep, that's good. Now you can slide all that back on. Slide that there, slide that back there, there. Make sure all your clips are good. I gotta get this bolt back here and we'll be closer to getting it done. And then don't forget to put this back on right here. It slides on there. And then you got your other one here. And just plug it in there. Good as gold right there. Alright, do a tool check. And before I put the beauty covers on and everything, I'm going to start the car up, make sure everything's good, no check engine lights, make sure I got all the hoses connected, all that other stuff. And make sure all this is connected, push through, make sure that's in there, or at least where it won't go nowhere. Put the beauty covers back on, make sure everything lines up. Stop recording. And snug these up. Double check everything, make sure you got your tools. Make sure all your hoses are connected. All that good stuff. I've already turned on the car, so we know it works. We're good there. And then she's done. That's all there is to it.